right now, because if we're not, I'm going to be very sad, and this is going to be a waste of our time.
But we'll have had fun. We'll have met each other and hung out at the beach. It's
there
all
you
good.
go.
Yes.
So, everyone, I have the wonderful, I just met you, but she is already a soul sister. This is Katrina McGhee, all the way from NYC, and now we're here at the beach. The gorgeous ocean, the wind at our back, the sun in front of our face.
The slight breeze. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. So, Katrina, tell us why you are all the way out here in Los Angeles and why you are talking to Homegirl Talk.
Well, I'm out here to talk about women's empowerment and the new online academy that I just launched in January. Woohoo!
Yes, yes, it's all about women empowerment, female power. So, Katrina, you have been in the C-suite. So, for those of you who might not know, that's the CEOs, the CFOs, the CIOs, the big wigs. Okay, and you've worked with Susan G. Komen Foundation, with American Heart Association. So some of these really big, I mean, nonprofits. But they're big organizations. They're huge. They're global. And you've been doing that for many years. And about, what, 6 years ago, you came up with this idea for Loving on Me?
I did. I worked in women's health and empowerment for over 2 decades, which on the one hand makes me feel really fulfilled about my life. And on the other hand, really old. Like, oh my God, I actually had a career before that too. But in 2012, I launched Loving on Me. After I left Susan G. Komen, I was a hot mess when I left. I had to take some time out.
See, you're being honest though. Because a lot of us are afraid to say those. A lot of us are afraid to say that, to admit that, you know,
oh my gosh,
we go through tough times.
We have to be real with ourselves. You know, if we can't be honest about what we're going through and, you know, all of the things that are happening in our lives, we can never be better. You can't fix what you can't face. So
there you go. You can't fix what you can't face. I like that.
So I left to try to figure out how I can do what I love to do, but do it differently so I can be both successful and sane. And in the process of that, I learned to love myself because I spent time figuring out who I was. And then I started a blog to say, hey, this is what happened to me. And all these women from around the world said, that's my story too. Like, you know, I'm really good at other things, but sometimes I'm just so hard on myself. Like, I can't figure out how to live life better. And so it became a community and eventually a book. And then this year, an online academy.
And so tell us a little bit, we're going to turn around, why not, right?
Cool.
Hey, we got good lighting here. So with the online academy, and again, it's lovingonme.com. And so, I mean, that whole premise is loving on yourself, loving yourself, focusing on yourself. And it's good to be selfish that way, right?
It's
not really being selfish in the traditional sense where we think you're not thinking about anybody else. Because when you take care of yourself, that's when you're able to be a blessing to other people.
Absolutely. It's about loving you, loving what you do, loving each other, and building a life of all the things that you love. I tell women, you know, our goal is to help you lead in every aspect of life. So it's not just about your career or your family. It's also about your finances, your fitness, about having fun and learning how to look at life as an adventure. So the blog and the book is really about inspiring people to say, yes, I can have a life that's different than the one I have now. I can, you know, do the things that I love, live in the manner I want to live. And then the academy equips you with the tools you need to succeed, like how to actually create that balanced life. Instead of running around looking for work-life balance, hey, here's the tools to help create it. So that's why I'm so excited, because we don't just inspire, we equip and ignite women.
And what would you say, you know, you've been doing this for several years now. What would you say is like the #1 challenge for women? What is it that's sort of like that struggle, that one challenge that's sort of keeping us from, you know, I don't know, taking that risk or living our best life or feeling fulfilled, or, you know, because a lot of women, you know, I know people who are like, when I find that man, or when I get that job, and it's like, but what about right now? How about just as you are? How about as is?
Oh my gosh.
How do you get that? How do you feel that though?
So there are 2 big things in all the coaching and teaching that I do for women. 2 big things. One is having a balanced life. You know, we're overwhelmed. We want it all, and we always ask ourselves, can I have it all? And I'm like, yes, but you have to define your all. Like most of us think that the list of things, you know, that list when you're 20s or 30s, whatever, I'm like, tear it up. Just tear it up, cut it out. Like, we all have unique paths. So what are the things that are your priorities? Let's put a plan in place to help you live according to those, and then you'll be a balanced person. And then the second thing is confidence. You know, there's a lot being written about the confidence gap for women and how it holds us back in our careers, and honestly keeps us from taking strategic risks that could move us forward in life or making those courageous choices. So the Academy is about giving you the skills and the tools you need to help build your confidence in key areas of your life, particularly in your business and your career, in the things that we spend so much time doing but often just get stuck in the middle.
Yeah, because you just get, you know, I mean, the reality is we have to pay our bills.
Yeah.
We have to, you know, survive, really.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times it feels like thinking about things like, oh, I want to, I mean, it's so basic, but I have a dream about doing X, Y, Z, and it just feels like too much of a luxury, or it's unreachable. Yeah. It's not realistic.
Yes.
But I guess it comes down to like what you're focusing on too, what you're putting your mind, what you're putting in your mind and what you're focusing on. You got to think about what you want and not what you don't have.
Yeah, because what you focus on bears fruit. And so, you know, when you really stop to figure out your priorities, and the free course online, which I encourage everybody to take, is 5 steps to get in the driver's seat of your life and stay there. And if you go to lovingonme.com, you can click through and register for it. It really helps you in a practical way figure out your priorities. So, like, for example, if I usually, like, what are your priorities in life? Tell me, yours.
My family.
Right. So that's what we say. We say one word. Like, my priority is my family. And it means this whole big thing. And it sets us up from the beginning for like an epic fail, because there's nothing specific about it. Yes. Yes. So, you know, when I take people through the course, it's like, okay, if your priority is your family, what is it about your family? Like, when my son was little, my priority was that I was going to pick him up on time every day.
Okay.
So I had to like leave at 5:17. 5:17 every day to get there by 6 o'clock with traffic. Because if I left at 5:20, I was late. And then I got the face like, why are you late? Yes, exactly. The why are you late face. But that was my priority. So when people say my priority is my family, what is it? Do you want to have meals together? Do you want to be there for the baseball game on Saturday? Do you want to spend at least one date night a week with your spouse? Pick something specific, because then you can put a plan in place to achieve it. But if our priorities are so broad and have no specificity, we'll never achieve them.
That's interesting. Is that something that you learn being such a business bigwig?
No.
Are these the things?
You know, it's something
you're already teaching me something. I do not put down like specifics. I'll just say family, faith, happiness, health, you know, and these are all kind of like abstract ideas that we all have in common, but you're right, we don't know how to like specify and
say,
the
light's really good here. They can see us.
Let's see right here. Hi everybody. And if you happen to be tuning in right now, this is Katrina McGhee, all the way from NYC.
Yes.
And we're in gorgeous Santa Monica, and she has brought the sunshine with her.
Yay.
And she is created, and I like the way you said on your website, it's called Loving on Me, but it's not just a website, it's a movement.